Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers Channel. Today, we will learn about Nancy Lee Grahn's bold stand for workers' rights and how her activism sparked a massive debate about major companies and their treatment of employees. Nancy Lee Grahn's spirit of activism. Nancy Lee Grahn, best known as Alexis Davis on General Hospital, once again ignited conversations by showing unwavering solidarity with Amazon workers protesting on Black Friday. She didn't merely pay lip service. Nancy made a conscious choice to reject the convenience of Amazon during one of the year's busiest shopping events. Instead, she headed to Costco, a retailer widely recognized for its ethical business practices and positive treatment of employees. She later posted on Instagram, sharing a heartfelt message about why she chose to shop elsewhere, emphasizing that true activism sometimes means stepping out of your comfort zone even if it's just to get your shopping done. Her message wasn't just about where she spent her dollars, it was a symbolic stance against what she sees as systemic injustice at Amazon. Nancy's words were sharp, yet her message underscored a growing sentiment among consumers who want their money to support businesses that value fairness and worker dignity. The decision to publicly criticize Amazon and its founder, Jeff Bezos, highlighted her broader commitment to labor rights, drawing attention to important but often overlooked issues in the retail world. The global reach of Amazon worker protests. The strikes Nancy backed weren't isolated incidents, they marked a significant moment of global activism. Amazon workers from multiple countries coordinated their efforts to organize large-scale walkouts on Black Friday, a day synonymous with consumerism and company profits. The reasons for their protests stretched far and wide: severe workplace pressure, anti-union tactics from management, allegations of exploitative labor conditions, and increasing fears about human workers being replaced by automation and robots. By standing with these employees, Nancy amplified their voices, helping their concerns reach a broader, more diverse audience. Her advocacy did more than express sympathy. It catalyzed real conversations about where consumers should spend their money and what values big corporations represent. The fact that a daytime TV star contributed to this global labor movement speaks volumes about the intersection of celebrity power and grassroots activism. Community response. Fans rally around Nancy. Nancy's candid Instagram post sparked thousands of responses from General Hospital fans and beyond, while the comment section showcased the usual mix of support and criticism that comes with political statements online. A significant portion of her audience applauded her outspoken advocacy, with some viewers relating their own decisions to support ethical businesses like Costco. Comments ranged from enthusiastic cheers, like walking the damn walk, to stories of people newly inspired to get Costco memberships or shop at ethical alternatives. For many fans, Nancy's brave stance offered validation of their own frustrations with big corporations, and some even described their own shopping trips as acts of solidarity. One follower mentioned how much joy shopping at Costco with family brought them, especially knowing their money supported better labor practices. Another cheered Nancy's refusal to shop at Amazon, Home Depot, or Target, echoing a growing movement of consumers hitting them where it hurts by withdrawing financial support from companies they view as unethical. Nancy's ongoing feud with Jeff Bezos. This wasn't Nancy Lee Grahn's first public swipe at Jeff Bezos or Amazon, and it likely won't be her last. Her disdain for what she describes as Bezos' flaunting of wealth, in contrast with the struggles faced by Amazon employees, strikes a chord with many Americans who are increasingly disillusioned with the billionaire class. Her willingness to call out these discrepancies has made her both a hero among labor rights activists and a target for criticism from detractors who see her activism as too extreme. Despite facing rumors and whispers about her job security at General Hospital, rumors that suggest her public outspokenness might put her daytime acting role at risk, Nancy refuses to stand down. Her advocacy extends beyond Instagram. Sources close to the star say she's been known to support local union actions, donate privately to workers' funds, and even lobby fellow cast members to make ethical shopping decisions. The ripple effect. Consumer activism gains momentum. Nancy's activism arrives at a time when consumer-driven boycotts and ethical shopping are gaining unprecedented traction. The simple act of choosing where to shop is becoming a potent form of protest. During this Black Friday, the surge in customers opting for alternatives like Costco over Amazon became a talking point on social media, with Nancy's post being cited as a source of inspiration. Employees at other retailers, observing these shifts, are reportedly feeling more empowered to demand better conditions and voice complaints against exploitative practices. Her influence even spread to local communities, with small business owners noting that anti-Amazon sentiment may be driving more traffic to their stores. Social media analytics from the weekend suggest that mentions of ethical shopping and union support trended higher than usual, evidence that celebrity voices can help steer public opinion and spending habits. The bigger picture: automation, unions, and the future of work. Nancy's concerns about robots replacing human workers are more than just fleeting worries. They represent a significant anxiety for workers across industries. Automation threatens jobs, shifts the balance of power even further away from labor, and makes union organizing more urgent than ever. As platforms like Amazon increasingly experiment with robotics, employees feel their livelihoods are under siege. And voices like Nancy Lee Grahn's become even more critical in the wider conversation about technology, employment, and rights. Industry analysts suggest that high-profile attention on these issues could pressure companies to rethink their strategies and perhaps invest more in human capital and workplace safety. Labor organizers point out that celebrity activism has a role to play in helping employees tell their stories to people who might otherwise ignore them. Divided audience, star power, polarization, and social change. Reactions to Nancy's activism are mixed, showing the challenge that outspoken celebrities often face. Detractors argue that actors should stick to entertainment, while others admire her for using her influence in the service of social justice. Inside the soap opera fan community, some speculate that Nancy's activism might alienate producers or even lead to her dismissal from General Hospital, although no official statements have confirmed this. Regardless of the backlash, Nancy's commitment to her values appears unwavering. Supporters say she embodies the notion that fans don't just want entertainment, they want stars with a conscience. Her actions continue to provoke debate, asking tough questions about complicity, responsibility, and the power of individual choices. Nancy Lee Grahn's support for Amazon strikers is just one story among many as consumers and workers alike demand a new era of corporate responsibility. Whether she's shopping at Costco, calling out billionaires, or riskily challenging her own industry, Nancy is helping to shape a national conversation about activism, consumer power, and the future of work. The effects of her bold position remain to be seen, but one thing is certain: this soap star isn't afraid to make waves both on and off the screen. Next, we will dive deep into the latest twist shaking up Port Charles: Willow Tate's decision to accept Drew Kane's marriage proposal once more. This shocking development has set the rumor mill ablaze, captivating longtime fans and newcomers alike as everyone struggles to understand Willow's reasoning amid swirling secrets, unresolved trauma, and the escalating stakes of a custody war. Willow's stunning choice. Willow Tate's renewed engagement to Drew has left Port Charles residents and viewers in disbelief. Many recall the tumultuous aftermath of their previous wedding, especially Willow's emotional devastation upon uncovering Drew's affair with her own mother, Nina Reeves. Her forgiveness at that time was nothing short of unexpected, and her current willingness to walk down the aisle again sparks questions about her true motives and emotional state. Those close to Willow are baffled, interpreting her acceptance of Drew's swift proposal as either a sign of resilience or desperation. In scenes fraught with tension, Willow confided in Elizabeth Baldwin after Drew's near-fatal shooting, admitting her intentions were pragmatic rather than romantic. She needs Drew's influence to reclaim her children. This revelation brings a new layer of complexity to her character suggesting she may be calculating and strategic, willing to engage in personal sacrifice for the sake of her family. Drew's political power and custody battle. Drew Kane's status as a congressman in Port Charles gives him unique clout and resources. Although not the biological father of Wiley or Amelia Corinthos, Drew has committed himself to Willow and her fight for custody. He talks about the challenge like a political campaign, ready to leverage his connections and wealth to reunite the fractured family. Willow faces formidable legal obstacles, financial limitations, and her nursing salary don't afford her access to elite attorneys who can guarantee favorable outcomes. Drew's offer becomes much more than emotional support, it's a lifeline. His money could pay for the kind of legal firepower needed to withstand Michael Corinthos and his aggressive legal team. Some insiders speculate that Drew's willingness to act on Willow's behalf is as much about political posturing as genuine affection, adding another layer to his enigmatic persona. Secrets and suspicions. Around Port Charles, whispers grow that Willow may not be as innocent as she appears. The crime surrounding Drew's shooting remains unresolved, and a circulating theory pins Willow as the potential perpetrator. Michael's behavior hints at secrets yet to be revealed. Some viewers believe he witnessed the crime and is hedging his bets, while Willow remains close to the investigation. If Willow harbors guilt over Drew's shooting, marrying him isn't just a romantic gesture, it is strategic. Remaining his fiancée or wife ensures she's close enough to influence the ongoing police investigation and possibly disrupt the PCPD's case. Additionally, proximity to Drew secures her access to his financial assets, allowing her to fight Michael's legal team on equal footing. The idea that Willow operates out of self-preservation and calculated ambition marks a drastic evolution for her character. New elements, rivals, plots, and political intrigue. Inventing new elements, let's imagine Drew's congressman status has attracted unwanted attention from rival politicians in Port Charles. Rumors swirl of backroom meetings and hush-hush deals where Drew's enemies seek to exploit his vulnerability post-shooting, aiming to undermine his role in the custody case. Willow, now caught between legal battles and political games, faces anonymous threats and surveillance, escalating the stakes and intensifying her paranoia. Meanwhile, Michael Corinthos isn't just fighting for custody. He's rumored to be collaborating with Nina behind the scenes, intent on exposing Willow's secrets and sabotaging Drew's campaign efforts. Elizabeth Baldwin becomes a key ally, gathering confidential information at General Hospital that could tip the scales in Willow's favor. The hospital itself becomes a battleground for allegiances as doctors and nurses pick sides. Psychological analysis. Willow's transformation. Willow's choices suggest a profound psychological transformation. Once portrayed as vulnerable and trusting, she now bends the rules, operating in moral gray zones. Her alliance with Drew, regardless of past betrayals, highlights her resolve to protect her children at any cost. The trauma of losing custody and being targeted by powerful adversaries has reshaped her priorities, forcing her to weigh self-respect against maternal instinct. Drew's emotional state is equally complex. His guilt over the affair, political aspiration, and the burden of Willow's needs make him a multidimensional figure. Opponents question whether his involvement stems from genuine contrition or is a calculated move to fortify his public image as a devoted family man. Behind closed doors, his campaign aides worry that the personal drama could derail his legislative agenda. What comes next? Speculation abounds regarding the couple's future. If Willow manages to secure custody through Drew's power and wealth, she may find herself indebted to him for years to come, sacrificing autonomy for stability. The specter of criminal investigation looms. If authorities zero in on Willow as Drew's shooter, their marriage could transform from a strategic alliance to a desperate shield against prosecution. Port Charles is already rife with tension. Expect clandestine meetings, courtroom showdowns, leaked medical records, and surprise witnesses as the soap opera's writers add layers of intrigue and betrayal. Willow's next steps will define not only her fate, but the future of everyone entangled in this dizzying drama. Next, we will learn about the explosive drama unfolding during the week of December 1st, 2025, where Port Charles residents find themselves entangled in webs of deception, moral dilemmas, and heart-wrenching decisions that will change lives forever. This week promises to deliver shocking revelations, devastating consequences, and emotional turmoil that will leave viewers on the edge of their seats. From Laura Collins grappling with a nightmare scenario that threatens everything she's built, to wedding day drama that could shatter families, the ABC soap opera is pulling out all the stops to keep fans absolutely mesmerized. Laura Collins faces her darkest hour. The Honorable Mayor Laura Collins, a woman who has always stood as a pillar of morality and justice in Port Charles, finds herself drowning in a sea of guilt and terror that threatens to consume her entirely. The discovery of Professor Henry Hank Dalton's lifeless body in her car trunk has shattered her world, forcing this principled leader into a position she never imagined facing. Laura's hands trembled uncontrollably as she stared at the deceased professor, her mind racing through the horrifying realization that someone deliberately chose her as their patsy in this sinister plot. The mayor, known for her unwavering ethical standards and dedication to the law, made the unprecedented decision to contact Sonny Corinthos for help, essentially crossing a moral line she swore she would never approach. Despite Sonny and Jason Morgan working their particular brand of cleanup magic to eliminate the immediate evidence, Laura's conscience refuses to grant her peace. The psychological toll of this traumatic discovery manifests in relentless flashbacks that ambush her during quiet moments, replaying the ghastly scene of Dalton's corpse stuffed in her trunk like a grotesque gift. Her sleep becomes fractured with nightmares where she sees his lifeless eyes staring back at her, accusing her of complicity in covering up his death. The guilt gnaws at her soul, creating an internal war between her survival instinct and her deep-seated commitment to truth and justice. Will Laura's determination to avoid prison for a crime she absolutely didn't commit prove strong enough to withstand the crushing weight of her guilt? Or will her moral compass ultimately force her to confess everything? Consequences be damned. The sinister masterminds behind this setup, Jen Sidwell and Ezra Boyle, watch from the shadows with malicious satisfaction, fully prepared to exploit the complex dynamic between Laura and Sonny. These calculating villains understand that Laura's relationship with the mob boss creates a vulnerability they can manipulate ruthlessly. They're banking on her moral conflict tearing her apart from the inside, making her predictable and easier to control. Sidwell, in particular, seems poised to wield his considerable power to maximum effect this week, suggesting he has additional leverage prepared to deploy against the beleaguered mayor. The question looming over Port Charles is whether Laura can maintain her composure and protect herself, or if her enemies will successfully use her own integrity as the weapon that brings her down. Nathan West's relentless pursuit. Detective Nathan West finds himself assigned to an investigation that has already reached a dead end, though he doesn't realize it yet. Justine Turner has tasked him with locating the missing Professor Henry Dalton, unaware that the academic lies permanently silenced, his body disposed of by Sonny's efficient cleanup crew. Nathan approaches this case with his characteristic determination and thoroughness, following every lead and interviewing anyone who might have information about Dalton's whereabouts. His detective instincts tell him something is seriously wrong with this disappearance, that the pieces don't quite fit together in the expected patterns. Meanwhile, young Rocco Falconeri finally tastes freedom after his release from juvenile detention, returning to a world that seems both familiar and strangely altered by his absence. His family welcomes him home with open arms, though the experience has undoubtedly left its mark on the teenager. Rocco's return coincides with Nathan's intensifying investigation, creating potential complications that could ripple through multiple storylines. The detective's dogged pursuit of the truth raises dangerous questions about whether Sonny and Jason truly covered all of Professor Dalton's tracks. Did they leave behind forensic evidence that a skilled investigator might uncover? Are there witnesses they didn't account for? Could digital footprints or surveillance footage expose the truth about Dalton's fate? Nathan's investigation threatens to unravel the carefully constructed cover-up, potentially exposing not just Sonny and Jason, but Laura herself. Every interview he conducts, every piece of evidence he examines, brings him closer to uncovering a truth that multiple powerful people desperately need to remain buried. The detective has no idea he's pulling on threads that could destroy the mayor's career and life, or that his dedication to solving this case might put him directly in the crosshairs of dangerous individuals who won't hesitate to protect their secrets. As Nathan methodically builds his case file on the missing professor, viewers will be left wondering whether his investigation will crack wide open or if Sonny's legendary ability to make problems disappear will hold up under professional scrutiny. Wedding day doubts and family drama. Drew Kane and Willow Tate's wedding day finally arrives, but the celebration feels overshadowed by uncertainty and unspoken doubts that hang heavy in the air. Drew radiates pure joy and excitement, his face glowing with the happiness of a man who believes he's found his perfect partner and future. He's planned every detail meticulously, envisioning this day as the beginning of their beautiful life together. Drew sees in Willow everything he's ever wanted in a partner, and he's ready to commit fully to their union without reservation or hesitation. Willow, however, tells a completely different story through her troubled expression and uncertain body language. Her face betrays a complex mixture of emotions that suggests her heart isn't fully present in this moment that should represent pure happiness. That strange, conflicted look in her eyes speaks volumes about internal turmoil she's struggling to resolve. Is she having second thoughts about marrying Drew? Has her heart wandered elsewhere, perhaps back to Michael Corinthos, creating an impossible emotional triangle? Or does she harbor secrets that she fears will eventually destroy this marriage before it truly begins? The tension reaches a critical peak when Nina Reeves, recognizing her daughter's distress, offers Willow an escape hatch in the form of a stunning proposal. They can leave right now, abandoning the ceremony before vows are exchanged. Nina's maternal instinct detects that something is fundamentally wrong, that her daughter is about to make a terrible mistake by proceeding with this wedding. This dramatic moment raises the stakes to incredible heights, forcing viewers to wonder whether Willow will actually go through with marrying Drew or if she'll bolt from the ceremony at the last possible moment. Will Nina's intervention give Willow the courage to acknowledge her true feelings? Or will family pressure and fear of disappointing everyone push Willow down the aisle despite her obvious reservations? The wedding day promises fireworks of the emotional variety, with potential for devastation that could reshape multiple relationships across Port Charles. Port Charles drama intensifies. Isaiah Gannon demonstrates the depth of his feelings for Portia Robinson by making a sweet and significant sacrifice on her behalf, putting her needs and happiness above his own desires. This selfless gesture reveals the kind of man Isaiah truly is, someone willing to set aside his own interests to ensure Portia's well-being. Meanwhile, Trina Robinson stumbles upon a horrifying discovery that will likely send shockwaves through her world, though the specific nature of this revelation remains tantalizingly mysterious. What terrible secret or disturbing truth has Trina uncovered? The answer promises to deliver dramatic consequences that will test her strength and resilience. Harrison Chase's ambitious attempt to cook the perfect Thanksgiving turkey apparently ends in spectacular failure, much to Brooke Lynn Quartermain's frustrated exasperation. She pointedly reminds everyone that Chase wanted to tempt fate by taking on this culinary challenge, and now they're facing the predictable consequences of his overconfidence. It looks like pizza will once again save their Thanksgiving celebration, providing a humorous counterpoint to the heavier drama unfolding elsewhere. This lighthearted moment offers viewers a brief respite from the intensity, showcasing the show's ability to balance comedy with serious storylines. Michael Corinthos receives a tempting offer that could change his trajectory significantly, though the details remain shrouded in secrecy. What proposition has been laid at Michael's feet, and will he be tempted to accept it despite potential complications? Elsewhere, Carly attempts to mend her fractured relationship with Lucas Jones reaching out to make amends for past conflicts and misunderstandings. Her efforts at reconciliation suggest she's ready to heal old wounds and rebuild family connections that have suffered damage. Emma Scorpio Drake and Joe move their relationship forward by making their next strategic move together, suggesting their partnership continues to deepen and evolve. Lulu Spencer, never one to sugarcoat difficult truths, delivers some much-needed tough love to someone who requires a harsh reality check. Her direct approach might sting, but it comes from a place of genuine concern and desire to help. Sidwell continues flexing his considerable power throughout Port Charles, reminding everyone why he's such a formidable adversary. Britt Westburn seeks support from Jason Morgan, leaning on his strength during a challenging time. Finally, Molly Lansing Davis experiences an unexpected sting, whether emotional or otherwise, adding another layer to this week's complex tapestry of interconnected storylines.